6 in England for the British Grand Prix on Silverstone Circuit. I just got a bit late with starting the stream, but I had to discuss some things still with Jackson, so no problem. Yes, I'm again with Jackson 3 weeks in a row. Adam's still not able to commentate with me, but I am having no troubles with that, and it's always good to have you next to me, Jackson.
Yeah, it's great being here. So far, we've had two absolutely classic races. Austria, of course, being that insane finish. But it's been great fun commentating. All these drivers driving impeccably. And I'm sure it'll continue here in Silverstone.
Yeah.
A track that in theory should create some good racing.
Yeah, it should be. It's a track where you really can overtake and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just a good racing track. It's been here since day one, literally, of Formula One, Jesus, on the calendar. And in Formula League it's been a standard, as well as I remember last season it was Kai taking pole, and I think he won as well. Oh no, it was Monster winning his first ever Grand Prix, and it was just let me think. In season 3 it was a Williams 1-2, sorry, season 4, but yeah, lots of history on this track, even in FEL, and I'm looking forward to a good race.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of action today. A track you can definitely pass on around Silverstone. And I'd say, unlike Bahrain, it doesn't really have sort of those back-to-back straights. Which of course actually, although the back-to-back straights in Bahrain you'd think improved racing, across the actual race it seemed like they actually hurt racing more, because drivers didn't pass because they knew they'd be straight, the driver would be straight back past them.
Yeah.
So here I think we could actually see perhaps better racing, because drivers, when they go for the overtake, they know they're not like giving themselves up for the next straight.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. We'll see. I mean, I wonder if we'll see any overtakes through some of these very high speed.
Oh, maggots and baggets.
Oh, the person who, if anyone makes a legitimate like move through maggots, baggets, and chapel, they're my driver today immediately.
Well, I
mean,
remember
they could crash a lap later, but
still, yeah. I remember racing on this track quite a lot, even in league racing, but it's always fun, you know. There's a lot. It's wide enough to battle almost through every corner. I remember with Lorenzo Bandini on the 2018 game, when I was playing with him, I think, and we had a battle for almost 2 laps side by side, and that just shows how good of a track this is. You can battle almost 24/7 throughout it, and it has some really good overtaking opportunities as well, and good defending. As you've said, it's not if you're overtaking someone, you're giving yourself up on the next straight. It is for example, here we see Yuri coming up to the first longer straight on the circuit. I don't know the corner. I think it's Luffield or something like that.
I know all the corner names.
Oh!
That shows how little of a life I have, so if you need any help with that,
yeah, but no, I remember the famous ones, but not everyone. But here's getting a little bit of a slipstream up to Kopp's corner from his teammate. He gets out of the way.
He did spin. Actually, no, it may not have spun. They may have been flowing down.
Yeah, he gave him a slipstream. Yeah, and it's quite easy to validate it actually, as the corner cut, the corner cutting strict is here quite strictly. If you just go off track, you're to get an invalidation at almost every single corner. Now coming up the still, which is a big overtaking opportunity, but there is a chance where you crash, because you know, when you're side by side, someone might get on the throttle too early and he just bumps into the side of you and he spins. But Yuri keeps it on track, and I think it's a really solid lap. I was going to see, but he just goes too early on the throttle, but still makes his lap work. Now we'll follow Balliner. Is he going to demolish that lap time? I think he will. Yes, by just a couple of tenths.
Yeah, that's actually.
Oh, I carry him 100th. And now Thomas through the final corner. He's keeping it straight, as he is the second. And Pluisable is in the slowest car at the moment. The other McLaren, and it's a McLaren 1-4 at the moment. Now Felix in the final corner. He goes 6th. Olin Williams in the 125s. As Luke goes 3rd fast with a 121.43. And Monster does 500s 35 thousandths of a second behind his rival Balliner. So now follow Kai Elting through his lap in the Ferraris. Is he going to make it a Ferrari lockout at the front? I don't think he will. But he's going to have a good shot at getting into the top 4. As this is a track where you can expect some quite close lap times.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close field here. Silverstone's a proper racer circuit, so this it'll be good because it's very sort of it's not a modern track that's designed perfectly to create the absolute perfect racing. It is designed for the drivers to basically just enjoy themselves. It's a very fun circuit to drive, and I imagine that all these guys will enjoy the race today, no matter how well it goes for them. Of course, with a bit of success, it's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting race. You see just so many famous corners around this track that you ask an F1 driver what their favourite, like a top 5 favourite corners in motorsport are, and they're bound, at least one of them is bound to be from Silverstone. It's just one of those tracks that produces. There's not a corner on this track that people don't sort of think about.
Yeah, but now we see last time out race winner Tim coming across the final corner as he just gets into the 124s. As Walrace goes 7th.
This is just the great thing about this league is that the field is so close. It is literally like you're shaking the field up race to race. Because in other leagues you have, you know, like maybe it leaves a bigger gap between the drivers. If a driver has a better track here or there, so let's say someone struggled at Bahrain but they're good at Austria. In most leagues maybe they went from being, I don't know, 12th in Bahrain to being 8th in Austria. Whereas in this league, you could have the same pace difference between the two tracks and go from 15th in Bahrain to 5th in Austria. That's the thing, the field is just so close that when you have a track that you enjoy and you're good at, it gives you so much more. So if any of these drivers are good around Silverstone, they could go from being struggling for points to fighting for the win. That's just the amazing thing about this league and all of the drivers in it.
Yeah, that's absolutely facts you were saying there, Jackson, but I think it's just really close every session, and maybe we see, for example, after the safety car reset, we saw Tim pulling away, but he was on the fresher tires, and that makes a big difference. But we saw lots of trains of drivers, and it was just quite interesting to see as well. As it's just lots of high level of drivers are in this league. For example, Bolin, you have Kerm, you have Ballin, you have Monster, Luke, Kai, you have Yuri, you have Thomas, you have Tim, Steve, Felix, Pluisbel, Benjamin, and lots of other guys. And those are all really, really fast drivers. So that's just really good and fun to see that those guys are doing so well.
It's going to be very interesting to see. Of course, last race, well, we've seen 2 very different sort of results from rounds 1 to 2. For the championship fight, it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. Because we're going to have to keep an eye on the championship contenders, because the current championship leader is Benjamin. So, and they're currently yet to set a lap down in 17th place, which just says a lot about this.
Well, he's now just crossing the final corner. He hasn't set lap time in yet, and now he goes 5th. So that was a good improvement.
That's more sort of championship contender pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 winners of the season so far, 4th and 13th. Just that's just that just shows you how mixed up everything can be. They'll probably get closer and closer throughout this session, but it truly is very entertaining.
Yeah. As you know, we don't really see big incidents. Maybe here and there. Last race it was really chaos, and that was quite fun to watch. But it's usually really clean as well. No big mistakes from drivers crashing into each other like I did in VRL F2, where I just completely missed my braking point, you know. But it's just really fun and entertaining to watch these guys battle it out for every position, every 10th. Maybe even every thousandth of a second, and it's just really good to see those guys. Is now Balliners on the lap, and let's see if he's going to improve in his sector 2 time. He does by 1.5 tenths, so that will put him probably on provisional if he can carry this on into sector 3, which is quite a shorter sector here on this track. It's the Stowe corner, then you have the little chicane, which is a really tricky one. You can spin your car easily down here, and the exit as well. It is now flat out as he steals provisional pole from Bolin. And that was a really good lap, as Karim is not improving in his first sector. Now let's see what he can do in his third. It looks like just missing on an improvement. As we'll just follow now, we'll follow Monster through his lap. He won the opening race in Bahrain, as he finished second in the driver's standing last season, and he's trying to give it a shot this season, hopefully.
Oh, crash. Apologies there for interrupting. That is Yuri, who has just spun on the exit of Chapel. And
oh no!
Out of other cars. I just went on board with them then, as I think they went wide on the exit of Beckett's and went through the grass, trying to sort of keep it going. And then just when they got back onto the tarmac, lost it, and that locked up the wheels, and that kept them out of the barriers.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Monster's going to do. He just misses out on an improvement. Maybe Luke. Oh, just one place. But still, it's an improvement of Luke, as it's just really close already. Let's see what Kai is going to do. He got a little slipstream. Oh, he invalidated it. Whoops.
That's not good.
Tim. We'll follow him then. As it's quite busy now after Stowe, cars are lining up to start their their qualifying lap. As you want to get the best exit out of the final corner, and don't want to bottle it already, as it's an important thing starting your lap good. But is he going to improve? Yes, he does, but only 10th.
Lots of drivers out on the circuit at the moment, preparing for laps or on laps. It'll be very interesting to see where they will end up at the end of the session, see how close it is. Currently, all of those that have set a lap time within a second of each other, which, you know, we've come to expect at this stage. Some surprises in the field, not many huge ones. Karem's doing a very good job, Luke's doing a very good job.
Maybe it's surprising to see Pluijsbel and Felix so far down the grid, but you know, it's just really close, the field. You know, 1 second is 1. It's this 1. It's so close. Yeah. And
you make a mistake on your lap, you lose a tenth a second, you're losing yourself a place or two. Like that's how much it's just.
If it's not more, it's just so freaking close. And I think that makes this league really interesting to see.
Now, if it's okay with you, I would like to do an onboard lap here with Benjamin while I talk you around the lap. With all the corner names, thought I'd throw that in. So, Benjamin now heading through Abbey, which is turn 1 here, going through Farm now, keeping it flat, trying to take the shortest lines, then now break down into Village there. Getting a good exit, keeping it stable through the loop. Just traction's very important, a bit of a slide there. Through Aintree, another flat out corner, there's lots of those around here at Silverstone. Under the bridge as they head down into Brooklands now, small lock up, barely noticeable now into Luffield around, trying to get to the late apex, just run out, not into quite to the gravel though. Now through Woodcote, just avoiding invalidation on that inside, you do not want to lose any ground there. Flat out through Copse Corner on the limit, doesn't even use much of track limits, which just shows how comfortable these F1 cars are through there. Now through Maggots and Beckett's, very high speed corners here as they get it just in, just as close. It's a mistake there, big mistake there for Benjamin, missing the apex of Chapel, and that is Benjamin's lap over. So yeah, that's 2/3 of the Silverstone lap. The only corners left for Stowe,
Thomas.
And wait, where's Thomas now?
Up to Copse.
Through Copse now, again, you can see how easy flat it is in modern F1 cars. And it's the same through Maggots and Beckett's here, so they get through Maggots, easy flat Beckett's. Tiny still a bit of break there, but again, just tiny amount of breaking through. They're barely any, which just shows you how quick they're staying tight on the left on the exit of Chapel. Getting actually a slipstream here from one of the Alfa Romeo cars of the Matthias Gamer. That's it. Oh,
Oh,
crash!
idiot!
What
That's
was
really
that
dumb.
there? That was, I mean, what the hell happened there? I would have stopped trying to commentate on people's laps, because clearly it's bad luck.
But that's just dumb. That's just really dumb from Matthias.
That was just...
100% his fault, you have to say that.
I mean, that was just... my only guess of what happened there is that Matthias was sitting on the racing line, minding their own business. They saw that a car was on a flying lap behind them, but reacted too late, so tried to pull off the racing line, but Thomas was already alongside with them by that point, so they just steered into them. So, in my opinion, that's just lack of paying. They just weren't paying attention. They didn't see that a car was coming soon enough. I mean, it's either that or that was a targeted attack. So it's either I would hope of the two, it's not paying attention than a deliberate swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would expect it to be a lack of paying attention. But because I've done that in qualifying sessions, it's so easy to do. You're preparing for your lap time, and
you're blocking someone.
That's why it's so crucial. You can never relaxed in the qualifying session. You always have to be aware of what's going on around you. See, as I just watched Ballina going past Donkey, their Donkey way off the racing line. Perfect. That's what you got to do. That's the key to qualifying. It's like whether you're on an in lap, out lap, or a flying lap. You always have to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, we're now following Monster as he's the first one probably to set a timed lap of the top guys, as it's interesting to see as it's 40 and 45 seconds remaining in this session. Just select there, but he is 8.5 and that's an invalidation.
You can see that one coming. As when they decide to pit, that's their session over. Monster, it's another. They started very far down the order. Where did they? Do you remember when they started on Austria? I feel like it was quite far down the order.
Oh, Bannon improved by 1.110.
Ooh. As Monster does retire. So, Monster, not the qualifying session they would have wanted. Championship contender this season, Ballina. Ballina got pole in Bahrain. Who got pole in? Was it Kai that got pole in Austria?
Or Monster? I'm not sure.
I think it was Kai that got pole in Austria. Because I remember it being another Ferrari on pole position, but another Ferrari not winning the race.
Yeah, it's the curse of Ballina.
But can Ballina get their second pole position of the season? Well, that's their best lap done now. It is whether Bolin and Karem can beat them. And Bolin currently up by 2 tenths. That currently would be enough. The current amount they're up would be enough for them to take pole position away. Could we see our first non-Ferrari? And it's an invalidated lap. That's an invalidated lap.
Oh no!
So Bolin will not take pole position. Will Karem? No, Karem is backed out of this lap. Luke. Can Luke do anything about it? No. Wait, let's wait and see. Luke is slightly up through Sector 1. I mean, they need 4 attempts and they've gone 7 milliseconds quicker, so... I'm not quite sure that's going to be enough, but... I can't say that Ballina most likely has pole position here.
You never know, you never know.
It's true. With a field so close, it could easily swing another way. Kai is a driver we haven't spoken much about in this qualifying session. Down in P8 as his invalidation for Luke. It seems everyone's pushing a bit. Oh, it's at the crash for Luke. Heavily in the ball and wheel off. There we go. That's what happens when... And the funny thing about that is, they did that after they invalidated their lap time. They did that after. The corner off they invalidated their lap time, they push it too hard. That was a big crash, both left-hand side wheels off.
Oh, you see, 2.9 tenths gives you 6 positions.
It's amazing. It really is.
But that's quality done.
Another pole for Ferrari. Ferrari's 3rd pole in a row this season. This has probably been, I think this is the most comfortable pole of the season. Well, I'm not sure. All of the pole sisters have been... Actually, no, back in round 1, Ballon had quite a big margin. Put Ballon on the second pole of the season. Let's see whether they can continue that into the race.
Yeah, and it's Mercedes again on the heels of the Ferrari. And then you have McLaren of Karen, which is a surprising P2. Then you have Monster, a good quality from Luke. Warrage, Royboy, Benjamin, Kai, and you have Cedric and Tim just outside of the top 10. Then you have Yuri, Pluisjebob, Donkey, Thomas, Steve, Felix, Dispreen, Lorenzo Bandini, and Matthias Gamer.
Now, what would you say is the surprise of qualifying for you?
Karen.
What was the big surprise? Yeah, I was going to say, seen, it's weird seeing a McLaren up there. We've seen Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault. They've been the top 3 teams this season so far. And see a team that isn't one of those 3 up in the top 3, it truly is surprising.
Yes. But it's a sunny day in England. That's something I don't really think you are very...
Living not far from the circuit, I can confirm that isn't very often the case.
How far do you live off the circuit?
About half an hour away from Silverstone.
Oh, that's quite close.
Yeah, surprisingly, I've only actually been like onto the like part of the circuit once. I've been to the actual sort of the area a few times, but I only actually to the circuit once, and that was for the World Endurance Championship.
Yeah,
it's a very nice place. It's a very nice track. Even when it rains, it's a very nice track. So just for those that are wondering, the top 5 in the championship going into this race is actually Tim on top of these standings at the moment.
Tim!
With Boland in second. Then it was Benjamin in third, Monster in fourth, and Warrage in fifth, with Balliner in sixth. So yeah,
oh no, one button is broke.
It is 1 point covering the top 3, so yeah. But Tim down to P11. That's very interesting.
Let's see what ties everyone is on. The top 10 is on softs. Then you have Tim, Yuri, Pluisjebob, and Donkey on the mediums. Both of the AlphaTauris on the softs, and then you have Felix, Dispreen, Lorenzo Bandini, and Matthias Gamer on the mediums.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. I hope for another good race.
I'm sure it will be. I am certain it will be. But we're yet to see a dominant race yet this season.
I don't want that. Don't say it. I don't want to have a commentator's curse.
That is true. Yeah, I think so many drivers have got so much pace. McLaren, I must say, as a team, have had a very strong qualifying. Seen as in the Constructors' Championship, they are currently 6th, only on 11 points. So, starting 3rd and 7th, I mean, that's a big lot of points there. I mean, Trem alone's already, that's a lot more points for the team, and then with Roy Brynhan 7th, that's even more points. Yeah. McLaren in a fight with Red Bull so far this season. Both teams very strong qualifying from both of them. And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting start.
Yeah.
Only 2 teams yet to score this season. They are Alfa Romeo and Williams.
And Williams. Whoop whoop.
But to be fair, Pluisjebob starting 13th on the medium tight. If the medium tight ends up working, that could be interesting. Perhaps points there. Donkey 14th as well. So maybe today is the day that we see Williams and Alfa Romeo score points. I am certain that we will not finish the season with a team that hasn't scored a point yet. No. I'm certain as well. There isn't a driver in this league that isn't worthy of points.
Everyone is.
So it's just a matter of time.
But we are almost on the way! Okay. Everyone is lining up. As the Alfa Romeo, which we also really often see in real life, is lining up on the back of the grid.
After the collision in qualifying now.
Yeah. But once it goes to its 4-5, Red Knights will probably get another glitch. Yes, we have. But
as rising.
Now we're underway. Who gets a good start? It's the Mercedes on the second row who jumps Karam as Balliner has been jumped by the other Mercedes as Kai really goes off circuit there and gains a couple of positions. Now let's see who gets clean through here. Again a Ferrari overtake, and it's Luke, or sorry, Amity Cedric is spun around. Let's see, it's still clean at the front. Only one car has been spun around, and that's Cedric. And Pleasure will gain a couple of positions. You see Benjamin losing a couple and Roy Boy losing one. As it's War Rage having the best of starts with Monster, as he is pushing for the final podium spot, but overtake for first place on Balliner done by Bolin. Is he going to get another good finish? We have to wait and see, as it's still really close between those two AlphaTaurs who are on the softs. So they have the tire advantage over everyone outside of the top 10. Are they going to make use of that or not? Let's switch back to the front now, as Balliner is on the back of the Mercedes of Bolin. He switches to the outside. Is he going to make it done before the corner even starts? Yes, he has, but Bolin is not going to sit back and just chill there. He is wanting to regain that position for sure.
Yeah, it's been a very crazy start. Balliner back up into the lead, lost it at the start, but obviously first lap of the race, being first lap of the race. What can Balliner do now? Can they stretch out a lead, or will it be another slipstream fest? I think it's going to be more slipstreaming. Although all the tracks we've had so far this season, Silverstone is probably, shockingly, the one that's least likely to be a slipstream fest. Because we've of course had Bahrain, lots of straights there. Then Austria. That's basically just straights alone with a couple of corners chucked in the middle. So Silverstone, a track that it really is a very high-speed circuit. I think it's the least, like, somehow the least easy track to follow so far this season. As the medium tyres are working well for Tim. It goes around the outside of Roy Boy there. Can they pull it off?
It's Pleasure will go to follow.
Well, yes. Yeah, could will get into the points. Will they go for a move? Nah, they're not going to go for a move into Colts.
It's too early to call it, yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to watch. The entire field here, apart from Cedric, the entire field is within a second of the car in front of them. And I know it's lap 1, but still, for the entire field apart from 1 to have no issue.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Losing ball, about to lose a place here to Thomas. Will Thomas be able to fight it? Not quite. Those soft tyres do look a bit better on that AlphaTauri.
Yeah. Is he going to send it? Not yet, but the gap between first and second is already 9/10. As here, Karen really lost a lot of positions from the start, dropping down to 5th place.
As Monster now is dropped out of a second, as I just a lap ago was saying about how everyone's within a second.
Oh!
Out of a second.
A Sky! Sky out of nowhere!
Racing hard here.
Yeah, he racing hard, making contact. It's a bit like Randy Orton, Archie out of nowhere, but then with wheel banging, is he going to make it work this time? No. He doubts. Yes, he is in there. He is there, but he keeps his nose out of it.
Not to get spun.
Oh, it's Thomas. Is he making an overtake on the Williams? Still Samson. Yes, he regained that position.
Two very different stories here in terms of the medium tyres. But Tim, who appears to be doing very well on the mediums, big key part of being the medium tyres as keeping up with the soft tyre runners. Just stay in the DRS. That's all they've got to do, is just not lose too much time.
Yeah.
Because if they're able to just come out when the cars in front are on the mediums and they're on the softs, that puts them in an absolutely amazing situation. And I've seen it before, that the driver who starts on the mediums keeps up in the first stint, nothing special, just stays on the back of the train, switches onto the softs, and just destroys the opposition just because they have that much grip.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, really key for Tim to stay here, and the key for a big bit of Tim staying in this group, as that's Kai very wide, going wide at the final corner, that's going to help out Tim a bit there. Tim needs battles in front of him, but he also needs cars behind him.
Benjamin, send it! Aww. Not yet. But yeah, the top 10 is still on soft except for Tim, as Cedric really fell out of the boat by spinning on lap 1. As he gets a time penalty so early on the race, that will certainly not help him at all.
I would assume that they're so far back, they've got nothing to lose now. They're just pushing for everything they've got. trying to stay. And it does look for me, from Monster backwards, we have a massive fight for P3 here, which does include Tim in this train, which is crucial for Tim. Because, I mean, if Tim can keep up with this train until the pit stops, Tim could get a podium.
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe even the win. I mean, it'd be very hard to get the win, but I reckon a podium would be definitely possible with that. Also going to keep an eye on the standings. To keep an idea of what the live standings will be like with situations. I won't do any X or any 4 laps in. We've got a long way to go so far. Maybe when we get to the halfway point, I'll give you all an update on who will be looking good. Of course, with every race we get in, that's one less race for drivers to recover from lost points. So,
yeah, but Monster can't really keep up with his teammate. That's surprising me, as Ballina broke the DRS. As Sky gets a time penalty.
Yeah, Boylan's going to really have to hope that they've got more pace on the medium tyre. A track like here at Silverstone is a track that I find very much separates drivers from medium tyre runners to soft tyre runners. Some drivers love the softs, some drivers love the mediums. There's something about Silverstone that really sort of makes it sort of one tyre suits you, the other one doesn't. In my case it's soft, but in other people's case it's the mediums. It's sort of because, maybe it's because they're so hard tyres, because the tyres around here are sort of the harder range of the Pirelli options. Maybe they're a bit more, I was a bit more temperamental, sort of they can sort of very much easily be turned on or off, maybe more to do with driving style. But at the moment I'd definitely say Tim is doing very well on the medium tyres, so perhaps he suits the medium tyres more.
Yeah, and as we know he's a really quick guy, as Monster got just wide out of Chapel, or I don't know what corner it is, as he is through. As he's through. Yeah, the guy who improved 2.2 tenths in quali and made up 6 positions is now on the podium.
Warrage here doing a very good job. Warrage, I believe, got a podium last time out, which is very good for them. I guess they did. Warrage got 5th in the championship. And yeah, that would put them in a very good situation in the championship if they maintain a hold of P3 here. Bolan also in a very strong position here because Ballina has had a bad couple of races. So is actually 2 points behind is 2 points behind Warrage and Monster. However, is 7 points off Bolan. So as things stand, who's got fast lap at the moment? That is Ballina. So as things stand, Ballina would be 1 point ahead of Bolan at the top of the championship, which is just insane. But we've got a long way to go. Very interesting to see which drivers are pushing more. Ballina, I must say, is pushing a lot on their ERS. I personally, maybe I'm wrong to this, but I love to always look at the ERS. So that gives you an idea of how much the driver is pushed in a certain part of the race.
Yeah, that's true.
And sort of, if they're low on their ERS, that means that they're sort of maybe trying to get a gap now to sort of take the pain later in the race. Ballina's clearly gone with the strategy of get a gap to Bolan now and just think about the rest later. And I think Bolan, surprisingly, has done a very similar thing. Bolan also very low, whereas Warrage and the rest of the train behind are all much better on ERS. So perhaps this shows that Warrage, Monster, Karam are all sort of maybe going slightly, not conservative, but slightly more cautious, thinking about the long term, and perhaps these guys will come good in the second half of the race and do a better job. The guy I'm keeping an eye on though is Tim. He's the guy that, obviously, most recent race winner. He's the person that I think is sort of the most critical here at keeping close to the drivers in front. Because as you can see, they're not quite directly on the tail of their teammate, but they're within DRS, which is the crucial thing.
Yeah, that really helps you. If you really thought of that DRS train, you can say you're out of the battle. It's really hard to regain that DRS. You have to keep making it up in the corners, as they'll just pull away on the straights.
Speaking of DRS, I've noticed that Tim has used most of his compared to the drivers in front of him who've got a lot to spare. So Tim is clearly doing absolutely everything he can, and he's very much doing the same strategy as Ballina. Just push for the life of him now, and then just hope the soft tyres are worth it later. And I think he's right to do that. He's got to do absolutely everything he can to stay within DRS here, because those medium tyres at the end of the day aren't quick enough to get ahead of the softs. His plan has surely got to be keep up with the softs until the mediums are better than the softs. That's going to be his plan.
Just push as long as you can.
Has all been
Yeah.
wiped
But
out.
when do you think the guys will pit? The Tim, the medium, and the soft runners.
The soft runners, I think, maybe around lap, I guess lap 10 to. We probably should have read the predicted pit window thing when that comes up. But I would say maybe lap 10, I'd guess at around about there.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe lap 10 to 12 because sort of medium tyres probably can do about 14 to 16 laps. They could probably do way more than that, but sort of you want to use the most of them. You don't want to end up sort of hanging on for dear life. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
Oh, it's just a yellow flag. Oh,
is Yuri.
Yuri,
Yuri
no! Yuri!
That's very
Nay.
Ooh, nearly contact there. Ooh, that's
Oh.
very nearly a big crash there with Matthias Gamer. It's like nearly their second big crash of the day.
Nay, Yuri. Ah.
Meanwhile, the battle between D-Screen and Felix is going on here. He's coming out of...
Oh yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that.
Out of Ross's through Woodcut now. On the outside line, what can Felix do? Can they keep it to the outside? And yet, they've got the position. Very close
Ooh.
behind them is D-Screen.
Oh, Yuri now has to do the work all over again.
Warrage is catching up to Bolin now,
Ooh.
which would be interesting. So perhaps Warrage has got good pace here.
Who knows, who knows, who knows?
Their qualifying wasn't anything spectacular because they got the podium last race, currently in a podium position now. I mean, as far as I'm aware, let me just check this. Just check that I am
Steve's
right.
in the pits. So the first guy on the soft is in the pits.
And
With
that's lap-
Cedric.
that's at lap 8, so maybe I predicted it too late with lap 10. I actually, at the last stream, I believe I actually predicted Warrage to win the race today, not based on any sort of knowledge of his pace around Silverstone, but purely based on the fact that P5 in Bahrain, P3 in Austria. Surely the next step's P1. Sort of jumping 2 positions each time. Surely it's P1 next, just to continue it, you know.
Yeah, but he's really doing good. He still has a lot of ERS left compared to Bolin.
I mean, the thing is, Bolin's dropping back, but I'd say Warrage at the moment is showing similar pace to Ballina. So the speed that Warrage is catching Bolin is about the same speed that Ballina's pulling away from Bolin, so that could be very interesting now. And let's go back onto my Tim watch, which is probably what I'm doing.
Bolin makes a mistake, he got too wide, and at the exit of Chapel, he's being overtaken by Warrage. Exactly what he did to his teammate. He can't handle the pressure.
Yeah. Now, if I could drive behind, you make mistakes. It's as simple as that. It's going to be very interesting to see now.
Ooh.
What happens?
Scarab tries to do an undercut with Kai. So Kai, Thomas, as Warrage gets the fastest lap. That's
Warrage, yeah, it's true. Maybe Warrage is the quickest driver at the moment. Let's see.
Push, 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 push.
I'm going to have a look at the recent lap times. So, last 2 laps have been around 28.2s for Ballina. Warrage has been in 27.7, and before that, 28.2s. So, Ballina here, Warrage at the moment is catching Ballina. So, I think Warrage has got better pace at this stage. They're matching Ballina for the last few laps, and the last lap really gained by 5/10, so it's very interesting. But of course, with no DRS, perhaps it's going to be quite tricky.
Oh, what's this battle between Kai and Karam? Oh, that's a lovely move. Just finding the traction there and just taking the position, and Karam can't hang on to it. Oh, that must have hurt for Karam.
As it could be about to see a move here by Luke, who is quite close to the back of Monster, and indeed it is going to be a move. Heading towards the Stoke corner. That's the crash behind! That's Roy B who's crashed. And off the road. And Luke does get the position. Luke does get the position on Monster, and then proceeds to pit immediately.
With Bolin
in the pits. Bolin has sped into the pit lane. That is race affecting there.
Stupid!
That is going to be very interesting at the end of the race. Benjamin also pits. And Roy
I already hear
pits.
6ix9ine saying stupid. Well, but now Tim is just leading Pluishable as well on the mediums. So those 2 guys are the fastest on the medium tires. And let's see where Boland is going to come out compared to the guys. As Benjamin is just behind them. Let's see where Kai is now exiting the final corner. They are exiting the pits. He might get Benjamin and Luke. Luke? No, he didn't get Luke. But he got Benjamin and
Could get Benjamin here.
Go
Around the
on.
outside, not quite.
Give us some action.
What
Give
can
us.
he do?
Come on.
Wellington's-
That probably will be a
Wellington's
DRS
straight
train.
out. Close to
Wellington.
DRS, but I think Thorum's got the run. Will they send
No.
it? No, they won't.
He's
He
too
can get
scared.
behind
Scared?
there. Will Ballon have hit this lap? Let's see. I would assume so.
Plausible is overtaking Tim. Tim
Ooh,
fighting, no,
fast.
not back
Sorry,
at all.
yeah. But now Plumeball is now the top
Oh,
medium tyre
Balliner
runner.
and War Rage with Plum
Okay.
Monster into the pits.
That means Plumeball will now take the lead. Williams has yet to score points this season.
Yes!
Taking the lead.
Yes!
As much as I'd love to see Williams score points today, it would be a great statistic for them to lead a lap of this race and then still not have any points this season. I just like that.
Well,
that's amazing.
I
Give them
don't
better
think
laps
that
but
will
not
happen.
score
I
points.
don't want that to happen as it's my team.
Of course. Oh, well, fair enough then. Yeah, I think Williams, I mean, to lead a lap and not score a point, that's a statistic you don't really want to have. But I think, to be fair, today, Plumeball is on for points. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. As Monster has come out behind Benjamin and Kai, but just ahead of Karem there. Karem hasn't had a great lap there in the dirty air of Benjamin. Look at this group; they're all taking different lines to try and get the run on the car in front of them. The net leaders here are having a great fun. Ballon now with a pretty comfortable lead. Boland has got ahead of Warwick in the pit stops, but of course Boland's fed into the pits, so that's probably where they
He
found
got
the
the
time.
pit penalty, so that will really disappoint his race. But yeah, we're almost half through the race. Is Warriors going to re-overtake Boland? I think he will.
Yeah, I think Boland would be silly to fight it that much. Luke, I must say, is doing a very strong job at the moment up in P12. I mean, it sounds bad, but it's in a net P.
Boland gets a time penalty. Another. DJ Colette, another one.
Pressure's getting to him.
Yeah, again.
So I now can
Send it,
send
not yet.
So let's see if they score points now.
Yeah, I think the medium runners will go to lap 20. Or no,
Really think that
16.
far?
16.
Okay, that's just,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And they just do 10 laps. But that's a reverse strategy there.
Yeah.
This guy
That's
just
fine,
really
fine.
said, "What's this commentating on? What's this commentating on?" I haven't used anything today, so I'm clean. Now I'm always just really energetic and that kind of stuff.
Energetic.
Yes.
More age here behind Poland, but I mean Poland's clearly on the absolute limit here to try and stay ahead.
Yeah, he is.
Second in the championship, the driver they're fighting the championship team, currently P2, of course that will change. Poland here is in a good position to take the lead of the championship, and realistically, at the moment they are really kind of fighting Balliner and Warrage for the lead of the championship. Warrage obviously needs to get much further up the road to have any chance of sort of getting into the championship lead. But Warrage has shown a lot of pace, and I must say, they have caught up to Balliner quite a bit through the pit window here. Balliner was about 3 seconds ahead before, but it's now only about 2.5 seconds ahead. Let's see, Warrage still just staying behind, as that's Benjamin and Kai battling and flying past, as Kai has used up a lot of ERS and is struggling clearly. Monster in a good position here. So expect the medium tyre runners to hit in about 3 laps, so lap 16. It seems like Williams and Alfa Romeo and Racing Point now have a bit of a tricky situation. 2 drivers both on that strategy, so they'll have to sort of pull out.
Kai and penalty.
Yeah, you want to pit off the mediums as soon as you can. That's possible to take us off to the end, because obviously you're losing time to the fresher mediums the whole time. But also lower fuel, the soft tyres last a bit longer on lower fuel, so It'll be interesting to see. So obviously they can do a bit longer on the softs than the leaders did when they did their first stint. So that's sort of another spanner for them to deal with. And
Yeah,
Donkey
it's just not
gets
really train driving in the at the front.
Yeah, it's very much on the Ballina pulling ahead. Then you've got the very small train of Bolin, Norwich, Luke. Then you've got the much longer train of Benjamin, Kai,
Yeah.
Monster, and Karan. Perhaps even Darth Thief could get involved here. Thomas catching them, I'd imagine, here whilst they are battling. As the leaders continue to not pit, so as they are about to, as that is a pit stop there for Donkey. As they
With
speed the
Yuri.
pits as well, and Yuri as well. So I did say that. So obviously, having less in the car at the end of the race means that you put a bit less energy into the tyres. Therefore, you can take them a bit longer. So softs probably could do 12 laps in the second for the second stint.
With the lighter cars, etc.
I would probably have pit lap 16 to make sure that the softs are in peak condition till the finish.
Yeah.
But I'm clearly not of the level of these guys, so...
You're probably
these
a
guys.
Ferrari strategist, maybe. Like Adam is. Adam is as well a Ferrari strategist.
Just the worst strategy imaginable. Just let's try it. Let's give it a go. Let's see. To be fair, in real life, this season of F1, Ferrari have had pretty good strategies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say Ferrari, in most cases it's been Vettel who has had good strategies. The only Ferrari good strategy I can think. I thought it's battling there. Roy Boy going to the outside of Steve there. All the way around, oh that's, too wide there, got too deep and wasn't able to pull it off. That's all they want. Strong qualifying for Roy Boy, but it looks like this race is going backwards for them. Now, will Plusion Ball
Reverse
pit?
car. Plusion Ball.
And Plusion Ball pits. Tim also pits. And Lorenzo Bandini, I'm guessing will also pit as well. Yes, they will. And I imagine Felix will not pit. Indeed, he will not, so there'll be another lap led by a Williams car. Actually, I think Plusion Ball technically led this lap to where the finish line is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a briefly Williams 1-2. Team without points.
Yeah.
1-2.
Screenshotted everyone. Screenshotted. Save it for the books.
Now. Like one of the stop counting now means.
Yeah. Well, it's quite sad to see them from season 4 champions to not every race where they used to be.
But you know, that's the thing, is this feels so close that it can easily change.
Yeah.
Ballina now pulling out a lead again. I think Ballin's pretty much got this wrapped up, unless there's a mistake. As Warwick, I have to say, it's taking too long to pass Bowen. That's the mistake here at the moment.
Maybe just saving his tires and send it in the end.
Every lot mistake. Perhaps they've given up on first and just going to focus on getting second place. Who knows?
Yeah. But Jackson, we're going to keep an eye out on the soft runners now.
Yes. Plusion Ball, the lead. I think Plusion Ball's got points here today. I think they're going to be able to do that because they're the lead soft tyre runner. And I mean, yeah, it's going to be about 5 seconds they have to gain on Karam, but I think they can do it. Those soft tyres are clearly in a very good condition at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'll keep an eye on the lap times as we get a couple laps in, just to get an idea of how good these soft tyres are. Like this, Felix and these three into the pit lane. Means Ballina retakes the lead of this race.
I hope Luke gets a podium. I want Luke to get a podium, to be honest.
Luke is in the fight for sure.
He always
Bolan
is.
Currently in P2. As I must have, Benjamin has now pulled the second train onto the back of Boland's train, so we now have a train from 2nd to 8th.
Oh!
Which, you know what, I'm not complaining. It's going to be very entertaining when these guys start trying to make moves. Well, that may be a while because Warrage has to drop back a bit from Boland. Perhaps trying to line up for a later move later in the lap.
Yeah. But I think Pluisjebol's already gaining on Thomas.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Already in P10 after those two pitted, so Plusion Ball, I think it's fair to say, has got points here. And
yeah.
the question is how many points?
Yeah.
Donkey also in P13, so perhaps because it's an Alfa Romeo point, I think it'd be a long shot. I think maybe a safety car could be involved to cause that.
Yeah, we didn't really have incidents. That's, you know, look at the minimap. Look at the minimap, Jackson. It's all within just more than one sector.
But if we look at the leader, the entire pack are by 25.8 seconds. And that even includes that even includes Cedric, who spun on that one. Like, just take that into account. That is just outstanding.
Are they all Lewis Hamilton or something?
I think so. Now these guys are better than Lewis Hamilton for sure.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton, eat your heart out.
Doing very exciting here.
You were just as a 26.5 as a fastest lap. But Pluishable is really pushing. He's already into the DRS of Thomas. But Monster, the guy, really quite fell back in the race. Just not really his track, maybe?
You have to assume so, yeah.
Who knows, who knows?
Yeah, it's been a very
8 laps remaining.
race.
Yeah, but I think it's a good race. We have a couple of battles going on, but I hope we still have a safety car maybe in the 3 laps.
That would be absolutely perfect. Just get a safety car. If we have a safety car, we'll rage to win this.
If we have a safety car and the guys pit for softs, if no one pits, the soft runners will just have a big advantage.
It is just annoying watching more rage sit behind Bolin. Not doing anything.
Do something. You know the meme with the guy and the stick?
Yeah.
Poking something. Come on, do something. Warrage, do something.
We're just poking him with a stick. Just press the ERS button again.
Yeah.
Go to the
send it.
It's not like I'm low on ERS. Come on, go for it. Yes, send it.
Send it.
Oh. Let's see what happens here. But we need something to happen, okay? Even if engine's hard, at least we have a safety car.
Give us a safety car. VSC, I am okay with it. Maybe we have to call Cedric, who's in last place, please spin and crash really hard so we get a safety car.
If Luke did what he did in qualifying, I'm pretty sure that would be a safety car.
Yeah.
I've done it as a battle loop.
Pluishable!
Up the inside into Brooklands and gets the position done into P9 there as head through Luffield. And pretty much done.
Luffield
now,
into
5-second gap in front of Karem. Can they catch them? That's the question.
He has a penalty, so he has to make a gap. I think he can make the gap, but 7 laps. This race has gone really quick. It's just not even 10 past half.
Let's see how this goes. I'm looking at just compare lap times of Pollution Bowl and of Karem, just to get an idea. So Pollution Bowl last few laps, 27s, so low 27, I would say 27.2s. Karem has been setting 27.5s, 27.6s. So catching about 3 tenths a lap, it's not enough.
Nope.
Perhaps maybe dirty hours involved there for Pollution Bowl, but it just doesn't seem to be enough.
Who knows if Thomas can keep up with him.
Alright, will I go for the move here? Into Village here. No.
Well, Rage, do something!
Yeah. This is the lap. If it's going to happen, it's going to be this lap. Look how close.
No, Bolin has the better exit. He's no to 4.5. That's too far. No! Just got the better exit, man. You would have got him. Yeah.
Just get the better exit, okay? Just
Just manage your throttle pedal.
Let's see. I think Warrage's got the pace at the moment.
I think he can keep up with Balliner. If he gets past, I think he can.
Warrage has the pace. It's just they have the pace in the corners where it doesn't help in terms of overtaking. Well, that was a pretty nice Beckett's there through Chapel. This could be an opportunity, but again, they're not using ERS. But now they are. Oh my. Look,
just do something! Do something!
They would have had them. Oh.
I can't keep watching this. It's so annoying to see everyone just... I'll just stay in this train and hope for the last lap.
You sneeze, but you just can't quite sneeze. That's
I really hate that feeling. Yeah! That is really annoying.
Let's see what happens here. As Plushable is not really catching for Ram at the moment, so Plushable looks set to be just sort of. To be fair, could
Oh, yeah, just Cedric! Cedric! Is he off? Is he off?
He's Alex Albon it. He's Alex Albon it there.
But he's not gonna do it.
Not even a first.
He's got disqualified! Wow.
Still not a safety car.
Maybe now. Please fuck it up and give us a safety car. We need it.
Oh. This race.
No, it's not even a safety car. No. Not even in VSC. Come on, man.
Oh, this DRS train here just
it is a pain.
Oh.
It's just pain. It's
Spain,
Spain, but the S is silent.
For more rage, yes, it's Spain, but the S is silent. Oh, I might as well, because seeing as the results seem unlikely to actually change at all, I'll give you an update on sort of what the championship will look like after this race, if the results stay as they are. So Ballina would go on to 48, I think, it hasn't got past that, but Software on Alonso fast lap, I'm guessing. Up to 48 points. Benjamin will go up to 40 points. I'm basically going these in a random order. I'll probably do them in order. Ballina on 48. Bolin will go up to 48. Okay, I'm liking this. Forage will go up to 40. Luke will go up to 20. Benjamin will go up to 40. So far we have 2 drivers on 48 and 2 drivers on 40 if the results stay the same. I'm starting to like the results at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
Kai would get up to 12 points, which is, I mean, that's a shock, bearing in mind they've been very much at the front of races. Monster would be up on to 31 points, so Monster would be surprisingly low on points. This could be the lap though. Boylan with a small mistake there at the start here. Boylan's really struggling this lap. Come on, this could be the one that cuts the grass. Could this be the lap? Come on, press X.
Yeah, no!
Come on, 7.
No!
Oh,
boring. But remember, Bowling Gods has a 5-second time penalty.
That is true, maybe that's why they're not going for it. The annoying thing is here, Warrage is clearly quicker than Bolin, and Bolin is catching Ballina. That's the annoying thing for me. Is that imagine what would happen
it's only if
Warrage got in front. As we got battling behind.
Lucas Podium! Ah!
As that is Donkey around the outside of Yuri there.
But I think if we finish this race without a safety car, it's one of the fastest FEL races in history.
It could well be. It could well be.
I remember races always being done about 2050 with from the outside, give us something. Yes, crash please, I beg you.
Just asking to crash at this stage. He's at
Come
least
on
going for the overtake.
That was commentator's curse.
Come on, more rage. You can do this. You can do this. Go for the overtake.
Come on.
Listen, I have nothing against Bolin, I just want some overtaking.
I want some action. It's boring as hell.
I do not mind.
Come on, this is it, 310s, let's close it up. Yes! Come on, yeah!
To the outside,
no!
in the sky, and takes the position wide, up in the second place. Will this get us that's a bit wide out from Brian? Will this give Luke a chance at the overtake?
Push on! Push for your freaking life
there's 3 laps left. You just need to go, just go a
second lap
quicker.
Just
That's all you have to do. That's not much.
That's not much, no, not at all. Yeah.
I've got a feeling that Plusiable might not score points. I thought I'm disappointed with that as well.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Behind, very close. Bolin here, very close to the back of Warrior. Will Bolin fight this back? Bolin's got that many penalties. Bolin's got nothing to lose. It really is.
Fight back! Beef! Dutch Famebeowers will understand.
I think Kai's probably our best chance at an overtake here, because Kai's been all over the back of Benjamin for the last few laps.
Yeah, but they all are on the back of each other.
Yeah, but I mean
Just
especially on the
saying.
back. I mean literally on the back.
Yeah. Just
Closest to in the straight
scratching
arm.
your back for a minute.
Benjamin and Kai. If only Benjamin gets to get to open his DRS for one straight, that would give us a great chance at an overtake for him.
Oh, come on, someone.
Benjamin has
Well,
got a good run on Luke. Not good enough though. That's just the story of the race. It's a good run, but it's not good enough. Meanwhile, in the battle for points positions, Thomas is fighting Clusian and Tim. Tim, our last race winner and championship leader, not in the points currently. That's just unheard of. Well, over the back of the points though. Good battle here for P9 actually. We could actually see some overtaking here, which would be nice.
yes.
Oh, up
Come
the
on.
inside. Tim sending it. Contact. Ooh.
Oh, I missed that one.
Tim did not get damage there. Somehow did not get damage. That's a shock for me there. That was pretty whack.
Shell shocked. Shell shocked.
There's a battling third down the order between Steve and D-Screen. He gets placed, but I'm guessing D-Screen will fight back here. As they head towards Brooklyn, and D-Screen gets the position.
Crash, give us a safety car.
I think it's too late now for a safety car. I hate to say
I
it.
don't care.
Just even if we finish under safety car, you want a safety.
Remember, we don't have a DNF.
Look.
We have a disquali.
I said that all War Rage needs to do is catch it a second a lap. To be fair to them, they've caught half a second a lap, and that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm also going to check something. I'm going to check penalties.
Yeah, do that.
Ballina has none. War Rage has none. Bolin has 8 seconds.
Oh,
Luke has none.
Luke on the
Benjamin
podium.
has none. Kai has 2.
Has one. Oh.
Monster has none. And Karem has 1.
2. Oh.
Pollution Ball
There's 2.
has 2. The cars behind. Thomas has none. Tim has none. Pollution Ball looking like they don't want to score points here to continue the Williams score.
We're on the freaking final lap.
Yeah, that's flown by, hasn't it? That really has. This race is
Come
really
on.
about 45 minutes long.
It's now 59. Finish with it now, in a minute you have one of the fastest FPL races. And I want to watch some Netflix too, so please hurry up.
Let's see here, Bolin on the back of War Rage. Will they try the move? It's not worth it in the long term, but will they go for it?
Woo! Come on!
Using all the overtake
Send
they have.
it!
Will Bolin go for the overtake here? Oh, it's the final
Yeah!
lap of the race.
Send it!
Bolin
Send it!
doesn't go
Send
for the
it!
move.
Send
Stays
it!
behind.
Days!
Into final chicane here. The final
As
chicane.
Banner finally wins a race. That's amazing.
Congratulations to Ballina there.
Oh, watch Bolin
As-
falling back. Flunk, flunk.
Oh my. War Rage gets 2nd place. Luke gets an amazing podium there. Benjamin gets 4th. Monster gets 5th. Karem gets 6th. Bolin in 7th. Thomas in 8th. Kai down in 9th. Tim in 10th. So the championship leader does score a point. Take themselves up to 32 points. Pollution Bowl does not score points and continues Williams' lack of point scoring streak.
Poo poo. The Banner wins!
Yeah. So, Ferrari, for the first time this season, the pole sitter has won the race. Weird to say it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the case. And War Rage, they may not have got the P1 that I predicted for them, but it's still an improvement. They've now gone 5th, 3rd, 2nd. The only other place they can improve to is 1st. Surely, there's no other way to improve. You can't get 2.5. Like, the only way better is...
Yeah, you're living in a world of your own. Okay, just let me invite those guys. Balliner. Shizuka, you run down the grid, please. Thank you.
Nicely to get.
Yeah. It's been an okay race. I've seen better race, but it's okay. Not every race can be as spectacular as last week's. I've invited a couple of guys. Let's see if they'll join. But well, what's your opinion on this race, Jackson?
I think it was a race that had so much potential. I think that could have been an epic battle between War Rage and Balliner. It just War Rage just didn't want to pass. One of the questions to War Rage should definitely be, why didn't you pass Bolin sooner?
Yeah.
You could have won the race. You caught a second in 3 laps. Like, I think War Rage could have won that race.
Yeah. But I don't think the guys are joining. So
sad.
Yeah,
probably join after we've ended the stream.
I give them 1 more minute, 1.5. So I'll keep it on my watch. But I think it's been a good race for. It's been a decent race. It's been an okay race. I've seen better ones, but yeah, the standards are well. I think after last week's race, we can't really get any much better. To be honest,
that's true. We were never gonna have a race better than Austria, but still, it was still an entertaining race. I'd say it was. I still enjoyed commentating on that. And I will say, in terms of the championship this season, the driver that won last season's championship by 20 points is currently on 6 points, whereas the championship leader is on 48 so far this season. After 3 rounds, 6 points. That's just the reigning champion, just struggling so much. Average, surely, technically an average point score of 2 points per race. So that's technically average of 9th every race.
That's my average in ARC.
And you're driving a realistic Renault. That's a realistic Renault.
That's
reigning
decent.
Champion on equal. It's
Renault, it's decent.
Yes, but it's not like in that scenario. That is a realistic car on a realistic Renault compared to an equal car being driven by a reigning champion. Like clearly you're the better driver.
Yeah, I am. No, but their 1.5 minute has gone past. It's now 55 on my 40:54. But I want to thank you guys for watching. They've got that time to join. They failed the test, but yeah, I hope to see you guys next week on the Spanish Grand Prix, as it's a familiar race on Formula Euro League. But have a good night, everyone, and I hope to see you next week. And it's been a pleasure.